The Magic Swords. The Magical Swords Record of Two Friends. Adventure Stories for Kids. Written by Jeff Child. Narrated by John H. Feskins. Introduction. Two friends, two swords. The one turns you evil, the other good. Two friends find them and decide to take one home each, but one of them turns evil, they end up fighting each other, but will one of them be able to break free from the curse of the sword? Chapter 1. Friendship. Ethan and Lucas looked at each other. They were in Vine Village. It was crazy to think how long they had dealt with these annoying zombies in the past. They grew up together, and although both of them were completely interested in marrying a girl someday, they often hung out despite their past relationships. Because sometimes guys talk about guy things and like to do things like fight enemies and pull pranks on others. Some girls don't understand this and call it immature, being a show-off, or macho, but for Ethan and Lucas, it was always a way to have a best buddy in their lives. "Are we going for it?" Lucas asked. "Of course," Ethan replied. "If we're not going to do it, then who will?" "On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah! The both of them stormed at the zombies and began slashing them to pieces. Scared inhabitants in the village watched from their windows while the duo took out the undead and made their environment safe again. "Take this, ugly zombie," Ethan said as he stabbed one. "How many did you kill yet?" Lucas asked while punching a zombie in the face. "Why does everything have to turn into a competition?" Ethan asked. "It doesn't have to. It's just more fun that way. Besides, don't pretend to be so confident. You are always trying to prove yourself by beating me at something. Don't deny it." "Oh, come on, I don't do that. I don't care about how many zombies I've killed." Lucas slashed a zombie's throat and said, "Well, then I win. This is the 13th one. You didn't count yours, so I win." 16, Ethan said while stabbing another zombie with his iron sword. "What was that?" 16. This was number 16, Ethan repeated. "Ah ha ha! So you did count. I knew you were trying to compete. You're going to get it, man. Just wait." After the bloodbath, the two warriors put their swords back into their sheaths and stared at the corpses on the ground, while the village's men, women, and children ran at them, full of gratitude. "How many in total?" Lucas asked. 25. You? 27, Lucas answered. "Whatever," Ethan said. "Next time you have to tell me how many you killed first. Then I can say a higher number just to show you how much better I am." "Let's not fight about it this time. We are being welcomed by these villagers. Apparently, we just arrived during a zombie outbreak." "You're right, buddy. Let's celebrate," Ethan agreed. Chapter 2. The Journey. The people from Vine Village grabbed the two friends and carried them on their shoulders and cheered loudly. "Long live our heroes! They rescued us from the zombie attacks!" "I could get into this," Ethan said. "Me too. I wonder if there are some beautiful young women in this village," Lucas said. "I haven't had a girlfriend in a long time. It's time that I give relationships another try." "You and me both," Ethan agreed. "My last girlfriend ditched me. She said I was always fighting and hanging out with you too much. She claimed I loved my beautiful sword more than her. Can you imagine that?" "Such nonsense," Lucas said. "Your sword is a piece of junk." "That too. It's time for a new one." "What? A new girlfriend or a new sword?" "Both," Ethan said. After they were being carried into one of the bars to celebrate, Lucas began to flirt a little with one of the ladies, and Ethan ordered some drinks. There was a band, there were lots of people, and everyone was happy. When they sat down next to each other, a man came to them and sat next to them. He was wearing a black cape and a red shirt. His eyes were dark and his hair was light. "I can give you a secret tip if you're into that sort of thing," he said. Lucas turned his head. "What sort of tip?" he asked. "Have you ever heard of the two magical swords in the Outlands?" "Never," Lucas admitted. "The what?" Ethan wanted to know. "The magical swords," Lucas repeated. This guy says he knows where they are. So where are they, mister? You don't think that I would give you that information for free, do you? I have to make a living too. So what are you willing to pay me? Lucas looked at the man with the cape, then he looked at Ethan. We do need new swords, he whispered to his buddy while putting an arm around a bar girl. What do you think? Sure, Ethan says. Let's get the 2 swords, but I want the best one. Lucas chuckled and told the man, 3 crowns. Now go ahead and tell us. 50, the man said. What? Are you insane? I could buy a sword with that kind of money, a new one. I know, but these swords possess magical powers. Whoever has them will have something much greater than money. Lucas looked at Ethan again. Ethan shrugged. Lucas paused. Then he turned his face to the mysterious man again and said, 30, non-negotiable. Done, the man said. Lucas handed him the coins and demanded to know the location of the supposed swords. That's when the man pulled out a map. He laid it down on the bar and leaned over to the 2 friends. They are right here, he said. I don't go there because it's a dangerous area. Besides, they are both kept in a stone, stuck, until someone pulls them out. It should be fairly easy to grab them, but to get there, you'll have to go past dark shades. So watch out. Thanks, Lucas said. And what magical powers do we get from the swords? I don't know exactly, but the ancient scriptures and books are full of prophecies and facts about these 2 swords. It will be worth your while, trust me. I'll take your word for it, Lucas said. Ethan, we should go tomorrow. Sounds like a good idea, Ethan said. We'll stay at the inn on the other side of town. They celebrated some more that night. A lot of the town's citizens were there to make them feel welcome. After midnight, though, the party died out. People were going home, the music band was leaving, and the 2 friends were getting tired. I'm going to bed, Ethan said. I'll see you in the morning. Lucas waved quickly and didn't stay up much longer. The next day would be a whole new adventure. When Ethan got up and came downstairs, Lucas was already sitting there eating breakfast. He looked up. You're early, Ethan said. In all these years, I guess I have never noticed how much you love the mornings. Who cares? Lucas said. I'm just excited to get a new sword, that's all. Makes sense. So what's for breakfast? Eggs and bacon. There are some beans, too, if you're into that. It's a pretty good inn, I must say. Sure, I'll join you, Ethan said. We'll leave when I'm done, won't we? Yes, we will. They ate their breakfasts and went back to their rooms to get their stuff. Then they set out on a journey to the mountains which the map showed to be the determined location of the 2 swords. After walking for a few hours, Ethan sat down on a rock and took a sip of water. Getting tired, are we? Lucas asked. Not really. I was just thirsty. By the way, have you noticed any dark shades? I haven't. Maybe the dark guy was lying to us? Do you think the map is fake? No, but you are jinxing the peaceful journey we've had so far. Why don't you just shut up about whatever could go wrong? You're right, Ethan said. It is probably better not to mention it before... And then they heard a sound. It was coming from behind the mountain. They both pulled their swords and stood ready to face what was coming. Dark shades were coming down the mountain. They had heard them. They were angry and were running at them fast. You take the right, I'll take the left, Ethan said. Sure, there are more of them on the right, so I'll get more points, Lucas said while stabbing a dark shade. Don't make this a competition again, Ethan said. You know I'll win. The 2 warriors fought for a few minutes and killed the handful of dark shades which came their way. They put their swords away and walked for another hour. When they hiked around the corner of the mountain, they saw something amazing. Chapter 3. Discovery. Ethan and Lucas had walked for a while, and they were finally at the spot where the swords should be, according to the map. The map did not lie. The swords were there. They saw them. Both of them were standing in 2 separate stones, stuck upside down. Wow, Ethan said. The guy was right. There are 2 valuable swords there. Let's go take a look, Lucas said. I can't wait to try them out on more dark shades. Now the dark shades can come, as many as they want." "Don't jinx it," Ethan said. "I already made that mistake. Don't you do the same, please." "Okay, enough with the superstitions. Let's get those swords," Lucas said. He began to walk faster and found himself standing in between the two stones with the two swords in them. They were different. One sword was made out of gold and the other out of diamond. The two friends looked at them. "I'll take the diamond sword," Ethan said. "Oh, no, you don't," Lucas said. "That's the most valuable one. Gold is okay, trust me, but diamond? Come on, I deserve it just as much as you do." "I killed more zombies and dark shades. I need a better sword," Ethan insisted. "Perhaps if I had a better sword, I would be able to keep up with you," Lucas said. "So I definitely deserve it more than you." "Are you admitting that my kill score is higher than yours?" "Yes, it is, and that's why I get the diamond sword." "Ridiculous. I mean, it's not ridiculous that I have more kills on my record, but that this automatically means that you get the diamond sword." "Fine, you can have it," Lucas said. "Are you trying to make me feel guilty?" "You have it," Ethan said. No, you insisted. You wanted it, so just take it," Lucas said. "I can't do that. You're my friend. You can have it." "Okay." And just like that, Lucas pulled the diamond sword out of the stone. Ethan was a little offended by this quick turnaround, but he figured it was his own fault. He sighed and looked at the golden sword. "Still a good sword," he told himself. "Nothing wrong with it." He pulled the golden sword out of the stone and replaced his old sword with it. "Looking good, man," Ethan said. "These swords are awesome. Let's go back to the village." Chapter 4: The Golden Sword. After a long hike downhill and no further disturbances, the two arrived at the village and went straight to the inn. "What do you have there?" the innkeeper asked. "Two awesome swords," Ethan said. "They are really cool. Look, mine is made out of gold, and Lucas has a diamond sword." "You're right," Lucas said. "Mine is so much better than yours." "Huh?" Ethan said. He didn't understand why Lucas was being this way. Why would he take credit for this? He shoved the thought aside. "Let me see those," the innkeeper said. He reached towards the two friends, and Ethan gladly handed his sword over to the curious stranger. "Very nice," the innkeeper said as he held it. "What about yours?" he asked Lucas. "You don't have to hold it," Lucas said. "You asked to see it. Seeing is something you do with your eyes, buddy." "Oh, come on, Lucas," Ethan said. "Just let the man hold your sword for a few seconds." "No," Lucas said. "Don't touch it. It's mine and mine alone." Ethan was surprised by this possessive attitude, but he didn't know what to say anything about it. The innkeeper thought Lucas was joking and leaned forward. He reached for Lucas's sword, but Lucas stepped back. "Please," the innkeeper said. "I just want to see it, that's all. It's a diamond sword. I have never held one of those before." "Don't touch it," Lucas said. The innkeeper came a little closer and then almost tripped. What happened then was a mystery to everyone in the inn. Lucas pulled his sword within a split of a second and cut the innkeeper in his chest. "Oh!" the innkeeper exclaimed. "Oh! Ah!" "What have you done?" Ethan shouted. "You just wounded him. What's wrong with you?" I don't know," Lucas admitted while stepping back and holding his sword in front of him. Everyone else was staring at him. "Stay away from me! Everyone! Don't come near me!" Lucas yelled. Then he ran out the door. Ethan bowed down and looked at the innkeeper's wound. A million thoughts went through his mind as he tried to decide what to do next. But then he felt some kind of vibration coming from his sword. He looked at it, and it was glowing. It was beautiful, and it was miraculous. Ethan pulled the golden, shiny sword out of its sheath and put it in front of him. Suddenly, a thought came to mind. What if this sword could heal the innkeeper? A healing sword? Nonsense. But the thought stayed with him, so he slowly lifted the point of the blade towards the wound and lightly touched it. The magic of this weapon became evident at that very second. because as soon as the wound was touched, the blood was gone and the innkeeper felt better. He looked at me as if I were a doctor or a miracle worker of some kind. "Thank you," the innkeeper said. "I am healed. Did you just do that with your sword?" "Apparently I did," Ethan said. "What an amazing sword. It heals people." "We have a small hospital near here," the innkeeper said. "If you are willing, I can go with you and we can heal everyone there. What do you say?" "I don't see why not," Ethan said. "It's truly amazing. Who would have thought I could heal people with a sword?" "Did you see this?" Innkeeper shouted when he stood up. He pointed at Ethan's golden sword and tried to get everyone's attention. "I just got healed by a sword! Spread the word!" Everyone remained seated, but they were impressed. So the innkeeper figured they would eventually start talking about it, or perhaps they would tell their wives, and they would certainly gossip all day until everyone would know about it. Ethan didn't hesitate. He knew he had the power to do something good. It was almost like a divine, celestial, angelic gift, this golden sword, as if it descended from the heavens to bless the world. Ethan thought of these spiritual anecdotes while he ran towards the hospital. When he came in, he discussed the matter with the people at the desk. At first, they said he was crazy and that he had to leave. But when the innkeeper, a trusted, well-known man, came in as well and testified of what he had seen, they allowed Ethan to give it a try. The first patient was an old man. Ethan saw him in his bed and asked the doctor what he had. "A terrible disease," the doctor answered. "We're not even sure yet, but it looks like there's gangrene on his feet, and it may be necessary to amputate them." "That does sound terrible," Ethan said. "Let's give this sword another try." "What are you going to do with that, young man?" the patient asked. "Hold still," Ethan said. "This won't hurt a bit." As gently as he could, he touched the patient's feet with his sword. The shining aura from before moved as a shocking burst of energy threw the blade into the man's body. Within seconds, the man's gangrene feet were looking healthy again. "It's a miracle," the doctor exclaimed. "Wow, I have never seen anything like this." "Thank you, young man," the old patient said. "You're very welcome," Ethan said. "Show me the other patients, Doc." No sooner said than done. Ethan was standing next to another patient. Before the end of the day, the entire hospital was empty. The only people who weren't released yet were the personnel who stayed behind to clean up and tidy up. Families and individuals came from all over town to thank Ethan and to take a look at his mind-blowing golden sword. "I do this in all humility," Ethan said. "Please do not give me credit for something that wasn't my doing. This sword fell into my hands, and I am lucky enough to be able to use it for something good." When talking to the people in the village, however, he couldn't help but wonder what had happened to his buddy, Lucas. Chapter 5. The Diamond Sword. Lucas was still running after he attacked the innkeeper. "What is happening to me?" he asked himself. "This is not me. I am usually not this aggressive, especially not to... Well, he asked for it. This is my sword, and it's mine alone. Nobody will take it from me. Nobody!" He wandered through the streets and crashed into a haystack in a remote barn on the outskirts of the village. Then he fell asleep. Nightmares haunted his dreams. Darkness clouded his mind. His will to survive took over, and when the farmer whom the barn belonged to woke him up, Lucas immediately reached for his sword. "Ha!" "Whoa, watch out there," the farmer said. "I don't mean any harm." "Stay away from me," Lucas said. "You were trying to steal my diamond sword, weren't you?" "No, of course not. I'm just curious. You are sleeping in my barn." "Get out of here before I kill you," Lucas said. The farmer ran away. He didn't take any chances. "What a psychopath," he mumbled as he left the barn. Lucas took a good long look at the sword he held in his hands. "Such a pretty blade," he said, "and it's all mine." Smoke ascended from the sword. Black fumes were eerily going into every direction but down. What is that?" Lucas asked. Something stirred inside of him. He loved the feeling he got from holding this weapon. It was like an infusing increment of power, a sudden addition to his being. His strength increased as the adrenaline flowed through his veins. "Power," he mumbled as he bent over. "Pure power." He looked up and his hands turned into some sort of claws. It was as if he was gathering the obscure magical influences from an infernal realm he was unfamiliar with. His body was shaking as he yelled loudly, spreading his legs and looking up. "Ah!" Fiery flames ascended from his body, visible, steamy, demonic creatures which had taken hold of a part of his soul. "If anyone dare to challenge me," he said in a low voice that was not his own, "let him come. I am ready." All this took place in a remote barn, and nobody knew about it, except for the farmer. Chapter 6. Confronted. "Help! Help!" Ethan heard a voice. A man was running at the crowd that had gathered around him. He was terrified and in panic. "Slow down, man," Ethan said when he saw him coming at him. "What's the matter? You seem to be doing fine." "I am fine, you're right, but there is a crazy lunatic in my barn. He has a diamond sword and he threatened to kill me." "Lucas," Ethan said. "It's Lucas. I have to go to him. Show me where your barn is, please." "Come with me," the farmer said. Ethan ran after him, and they ended up in the barn where Lucas was supposed to be. "Where is he?" Ethan asked. "I don't know. He was right here, I swear." Suddenly, they heard a voice from the darkness. "Looking for me?" They turned around and saw Lucas emerge from the shadows. He didn't look like himself. There were big dark bags underneath his eyes. His gaze looked hollow, and the veins in his face, his arms, and his neck had expanded. A blue glow was coming from them, as if his blood had been altered. His skin had taken a darker form, almost unrecognizable for those who knew him. "Lucas," Ethan said, "what happened to you?" "Me? You're asking what happened to me?" Lucas said as he chuckled. "I feel better than ever, my friend. What happened to you? Nice golden sword. Did a cherubim come and patch you up? You look a little pale." "Pale? I feel fine, Lucas. I think you're the one who is out of control. Why are you threatening to kill people?" "He had the guts to look at my diamond sword," Lucas said. "So? What does it matter if someone looks at your sword?" Ethan asked. "It's mine, not his. Mine, mine, mine. Don't you see? He was trying to steal it." "That's not true," the farmer said. "I was planning nothing of the sort. Where do you get this ridiculous nonsense?" "Shut up! Don't you dare look at my sword. It's mine, and I will protect it with my life." "Just listen to yourself," Ethan said. "This is not you, Lucas. I don't know what happened to you, but that sword is consuming you. It has taken control of you. Give it up."
"Never. If you were my friend, you wouldn't say such things."
"Come on, Lucas, hand over the sword," Ethan said a little louder. "It's eating you up."
"Hand it over? Hand it over? What, so you can take possession of it? You're just like the others, aren't you?"
"No, you don't understand. I just want you back the way you used to be."
"But I have power. Power beyond anyone's imagination. This sword is the best thing that ever happened to me. Ha 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 ha."
As soon as Lucas said these words, a creepy wind blew through the barn, as if the elements were shaking by the exclamations of this possessed person.
"You want the sword, Ethan? Come and get it."
"Don't do this, Lucas. We are friends. We shouldn't try to kill each other."
"That friendship was gone when you told me you wanted the sword for yourself," Lucas said.
Chapter 7. The Duel. There they were, facing each other in a farmer's barn. The two friends who had always been defending each other were now about to kill each other. It was a dark, dreary moment when they both pulled their swords and were standing ready to fight. "His diamond sword will break your golden sword," the farmer advised Ethan. "You don't stand a chance." "The forces of good are with me," Ethan said. "Lucas is going down."
"Yeah!"
Lucas yelled as he came at Ethan. Ethan quickly moved away and evaded his attack. They battled for several minutes, hacking at each other and clinging blades. They came close to each other. Their swords were stuck. Ethan looked at Lucas and said, "I let you have that sword, remember? I told you to take it. Now why would I want it back? It's all yours. I don't care about it. I am happy with mine."
"Everyone is always out to get me," Lucas said. "You, all of you, will pay."
Immediately after those words, Lucas broke Ethan's sword in half. Ethan fell on the ground and Lucas was about to stab him. But then the farmer threw a rock at Lucas's hand and Lucas dropped the sword. His demeanor changed instantly. The dark aura and the dark skin disappeared. The sword was on the ground, and so was Ethan. When Ethan reached for the sword, Lucas stopped him and said, "No, don't touch that thing. It's evil." Ethan left it alone. He didn't want anything to do with the diamond sword. He looked at it for a few seconds and then embraced his friend. "Good to have you back, Lucas. I was wondering when you were going to be yourself again." "I don't know what came over me," Lucas said. "I'm just glad that I haven't killed anyone." "Well, now we have a broken sword and an evil sword," Ethan said. "So we'll have to find new swords again." "What are we going to do with them?" "Perhaps a blacksmith can fix the golden one. And the other one? I don't know. We shouldn't even touch it. Let's just bury it and put it into the ground with our shovels." "Good idea," Lucas said. "And where shall we get new swords?" "I'm pretty sure we can find something. It's always an adventure with you." "I think I've had enough swords for a few days. Let's go flirt with the ladies." "Ha ha! Now I really know it's you. The evil Lucas would never say something like that." The two left the barn and went to the inn. But the farmer was still standing there, still, wondering what to do. "An evil sword, huh?" the farmer said to himself. "I guess they forgot to bury it. The diamond blade looks nice. I wonder if I could..." The end. This has been The Magic Swords, the Magical Swords Record of Two Friends, Adventure Stories for Kids. Written by Jeff Child, narrated by John H. Feskins. Copyright 2017 by Jeff Child. Production copyright 2017 by Jeff Child.